En nuestro mundo, que es cada vez más pequeño, organizaciones y negocios se mueven libremente como peces en el agua, cruzando fronteras nacionales a la velocidad de un fax o de una llamada telefónica. Es un mundo en donde la comunicación puede ser la diferencia entre el éxito y el fracaso, y donde el inglés ha llegado a ser el idioma común del comercio internacional. Pero, ¿qué nivel de inglés es lo suficientemente bueno para un oficinista de un hotel internacional? Para un ingeniero que desea comprender un tecnicismo, o para un ejecutivo que quiere gestionar una empresa conjunta mundial. ¿Cómo se puede medir y mejorar la habilidad para comunicarse en inglés? Muchas organizaciones mundiales confían en una herramienta sofisticada, el TOEIC, el Test of English for International Communication. Suiza es uno de los centros tradicionales del comercio y de la diplomacia internacional. La ciudad de Fribourg es la sede europea de Dade International. Esta ciudad es el eje de las operaciones europeas de una organización mundial que comercia en 62 países, fabricando y vendiendo productos de diagnóstico.
Suspension acceptable.
It's a nice technique, but as we heard from
I'm
Germany,
calling regarding my purchase order.
And then just repeat. Yeah.
Repeat.
Without English, I don't think you can do business in a global environment. For any managerial position, you must speak English. Even when we hire people, this is one of our biggest requirements, since we are an American company, but also throughout Europe. I don't think you could communicate in all these languages. English makes it so much easier.
I have to see if she's in. Just hold on, please.
Our products are used in the medical lab for testing of blood donors, for example. If there would be a wrong typing of a donor, it might lead to some situations where patients are put at risk. They might even die. In order to have this quality assurance on a high level, we need a lot of communication. And much of this communication must be done in English because it's the language that is commonly spoken by all of these people.
What is going to be the impact on the package inserts? Do we have?
My job is regulatory affairs, regulations in Switzerland, in Europe and United States. So I need my English to understand the laws in these countries. I need my English to talk with my counterparts in Miami.
We embarked on total quality management, I think, in 1990. And obviously, everything you want to improve, you should measure. So from that standpoint, I think TOEIC is an excellent tool. And we introduce now these tests every year. People liked it. I think they felt a kind of a satisfaction, especially when they saw that they progressed. It was another motivational tool.
Now read question 87 in your test book and answer it.
I always had the feeling that my English was awful, and sometimes I didn't dare to open my mouth. So when I saw my score, I was so happy. I didn't expect that. And since I had more self-confidence regarding my English, I used it more. The company does support English class, and also TOEIC is a tool to see if this English class is valuable or not.
Nicole, would you like to start?
TOEIC provided us with these beautiful statistics, so we can really see the progress. Our goal is that we can raise the bar, that the level of English increases in a total for the whole facility.
Por siglos, Suiza ha sido uno de los centros más importantes para la actividad comercial mundial. En años recientes, otros países también han llegado a ser centros de comercio mundial. Estos centros son los imanes para la inversión internacional y han creado un cambio y un crecimiento económico enorme. Uno de esos lugares es Bangkok, Tailandia. El crecimiento económico de este país ha atraído a muchos viajeros internacionales y ha presentado desafíos nuevos para un hotel de renombre internacional.
The expectation level of the guest who arrives in Thailand today is so much higher than it was 4 or 5 years ago. On all aspects of the service industry, whether it's airlines or restaurants or even banking institutions, You know, all of the sort of multinational functions, you're looking for a universal language, and that language happens to be English. It is the language that universally is accepted.
Would you like me to reconfirm your ticket?
All of our guest contact employees must speak English.
Would you like to go for tea?
This is Mrs. Page in room 303. 1 coffee, 1 tea, and fresh fruit.
The same for me.
Same for you.
When it comes to the back of the house, that's where all the support services are. Certainly from a supervisory and above level, whether you're front of the house or back of the house, the language of management is English, and therefore a skill that an employee has to be able to be promotable. It may look to someone who is not used to it to be organized bedlam. The job is to manage that flow. The guests should feel that it just happens to appear.
That looks marvelous. Yes, thanks.
If I look at incidences involving customers in which we have failed to deliver and the customer is unhappy, I believe that 90% of that is a problem with communication.
Good afternoon, the Region Bank. Can we help you?
We require all staff in the hotel to take TOEIC test.
You're welcome to buy.
And we measure if their English language proficiency, by TOEIC score, meet our standard or not. The higher position you are, the higher TOEIC we require from you.
I'd like to send a fax to Argentina.
What's the fax number, please?
When we want to transfer staff or when we want to promote them, we also take TOEIC in consideration because English is so important in this hotel.
Bankers luncheon today in the ballroom for 180 guests.
I have 22 department heads. 16 of those are Thais. The others are Australian, American, Swiss, French, and Austrian. The language of business within the hotel is English.
We have one managing director of...
We also offer English training, at least 50 hours per month, for them to improve their ability.
Beef, pork, shrimp. Very good.
TOEIC has worked so well because it allows us to establish a benchmark. And in this society where things are changing so quickly, it's too easy to lose those standards.
La cuenca del Pacífico no es el único imán para la inversión. Al otro lado del Pacífico, México está en el proceso de integrar su economía con sus vecinos de habla inglesa. Entre tanto, México ha estado recibiendo capital del este y del oeste.
We started this plant about 5 years ago, and during 2 years we have been manufacturing basically telephone answering systems. Quality improvement teams, total quality programs, just in time. All those techniques are available basically in English. So to be able to understand, to implement things, you have to be proficient in English. 1 year ago, we started to bring to this facility high-tech products like the cordless telephones, and next month we will start manufacturing the cellular phones.
Even if you're a very good engineer, technically speaking, you can miss a lot of the details if the communication is not right. There might be some misunderstandings that could result in a bad product or it could have some bad consequences.
We are in contact constantly with people in the US, or Europe, other countries, Asia, and English is the common link.
Is that next week?
Yeah, the 27th, sorry, no, the 27th and the 28th.
English is not just a tool, but something that is a must.
Yes, Dave, how are you doing? This is Alex, AT&T Mexico.
We need to be certain about the level of communication that a person that we are hiring would have.
684. We got model 4XI.
We're using TOEIC for screening purposes with the new hires. The people that has the best skill in English and is qualified for the job is the people we are choosing normally. If we are not bringing the people with that skill, we are limiting the people growing.
Can you select if it's a 2 or for 2?
We have a job posting program. I post every opening position that includes TOEIC level that we need for specific position. Also, we have a scholarship and we pay for English classes.
Order for May.
As soon as we get the complete
5471.
One side of both sides.
So it's not just knowing English. TOEIC lets you measure how well you can apply it to a given situation.
We need to prepare our medium-level people to be able to communicate directly to the top management in English and also to the States. A way to measure how proficient our people is in English is the TOEIC.
Gran parte de los capitales de inversión que fluyen a lugares como Tailandia y México provienen del Japón. La Matsushita Electric Industrial Company es el productor más grande de electrodomésticos y de productos electrónicos en el Japón. Con marcas registradas como National, Panasonic, Technics y Quasar, comercia con unos 160 países y tiene 250,000 empleados en el mundo entero. Para casi la mitad de ellos, el japonés no es su lengua nativa.
That I really need information about the performance invoice.
It doesn't matter if we start early, 8 o'clock is okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
We are doing business worldwide. Asia, Latin America, Africa, Europe, English native countries, but common language is all the time English. This overseas training center is one of the 6 training centers here. Here at the language training department, 95% of 5,000 students a year take English.
Through completely once.
Gary tells about waiting a long time for a phone.
English is viewed as a way of professional development. English is the main instrument through which students can actually aspire to work abroad. If a person cannot perform up to par, you may have to send this person back, of course, and it's a great deal of expenditure.
We have set up some target for the person who are assigned to work abroad. We have many English training programs. For example, a 3-week intensive course, and also managers English conversation courses, and 1-to-1 lesson.
Develop and expand child care centers.
If you don't have a huge screening system where you have students numbering around 4,000 to 5,000, we would be in huge trouble. We used to have a testing expert to maintain an achievement-based system.
Okay, go for it.
That has been eliminated totally with the TOEIC examination. Instead, the TOEIC people do most of this work for us.
A. The man is standing on the rocks.
It has a great adaptability for many levels. The alternative would be to develop an achievement test for each level in the program.
I think TOEIC test is a very fair measure. I have already taken 6 or 7 times. My score is gradually improving.
Many companies, of course, use the TOEIC. It is a good way to not only compare the success of our program, but also to compare it to the success of other programs.
This gives us the opportunity to also measure then the productivity.
We see as a risk the problem that could be caused by some misunderstandings.
I can trust these tests. There's no bias. It's very objective. It's very clear.
Just to have the one standard is really important for us.
De Suiza a Tailandia, de México a Japón y alrededor del mundo, un creciente número de negocios y de organizaciones grandes y pequeñas están mejorando su forma de trabajar con el Test of English for International Communication. El TOEIC es la herramienta de trabajo en que más confían las compañías.